G.I. Joe, he's a real American hero. G.I. Joe. You guys like the sweatshirt I see. Welcome back to another episode of What You Missed News, the beginning news show where I recap what happened in video games this week that might be important to you and the video game industry at large. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some important stories that you'll want to stay tuned to. Really important stories. The first one being that Fortnite players are getting fraudulent charges for hundreds of dollars on their accounts, on their credit cards, on their bank accounts. Very bad stuff. Okay, so what ended up happening is that dozens of Fortnite players say that hackers have infiltrated their accounts. Now, this has nothing to do with username and passwords. So if you're thinking, oh, I'll just change my username and password, I'll just set up double authentication, it has nothing to do with it. They're actually going into the system for people who have their cards tied into the system and making purchases via hacking that method. So the only way to prevent this is to make one-time purchases where your card is not tied or saved to the system. And even then, I personally wouldn't consider it to be secure. Even though individuals like Tyler, the example in this story, stating that they received emails notifying them that purchases of $149.99 was made on his account and $99.99 was made on his account. He stated that there was no change in his password or username. Once again, going with what I had stated before, it has to do with your linked account. Epic Games refunded all of that. They said, we're very aware of this, we understand that this is happening, and they stated that there are instances where users' accounts have been compromised using well-known hacking techniques and methods, and they are working to resolve these issues directly with those players affected. Any players who believe their accounts have been compromised should reach out to our player support immediately. And please do that. If you have a compromised account and false charges are being put on your account, don't let it go. And also, don't try to scam the system and say, oh, I'm get me this game pack for free and say that this was a fraudulent charge. Man, this is really crappy when there are hackers out there stealing people's account information or just charging up stuff. This is pathetic, man. They're using the cards and stuff like that for online gaming digital currencies in a free-to-play game. That's sad, man. But that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what's happening. So do be very aware of that. Just don't tie your card and save your card to certain accounts. So a very weak Pokemon evolves thanks to a possible Pokkén tournament bug. Now, I don't know a lot about fighting games. I know a basic set of knowledge on fighting games, and that's about all I know. Crogunk seems to be one of the worst Pokemon that you can choose in Pokemon Tournament Fighter, and he's placed on the bottom tier. A lot of people place him on the bottom tier. One of the weakest fighters that you can get. Not a good fighter. Now, what ended up happening is that there's a glitch that allows something to occur that only has a 0.4% chance of happening normally. This allows Crogunk to be producing 2 best items 4 times in a row. Something that has that percentage chance of happening is pretty ridiculous to trigger consistently, which means that it would bump Crogunk up into a more viable and usable tier in that fighting game community. Now, the question remains though, because this happens, is he able to rise from the bottom all the way to the top? So the argument is being made, should Crogunk be patched to fix this issue, or should you just leave it alone because Crogunk's trash anyways? Why don't you leave me your comments in the section below and let me know what you think about this. There's a list of the best Legend of Zelda games ranked from worst to best. The game list does omit a few Zelda games like CDI games. Obviously, they would be at the bottom of the barrel, but it does take into context many of the main Zelda games that have been out recently. Some of these games on this list will probably cause controversy. For me personally, I think Breath of the Wild at number 1 is very silly, as opposed to a game like Link to the Past, which is at number 2, and fine, that's fine. But the reason I state this is because with A Link to the Past, it's very simplistic and straightforward. They hand you a sword and they tell you to go. Your sword doesn't break, you don't have to craft complex recipes and formulas, it's not an open world where you can go anywhere you want, you have direction, you have a given set of items to solve a given set of puzzles, and that appeals to a mass casual base, which is why I think that is one of the best games there ever was made. A Link to the Past could possibly be the best Zelda game for me. Even Ocarina of Time, which is very, very similar to A Link to the Past. But I do not think Breath of the Wild is number one. I don't think it's a bad game at all. I just don't think it appeals to a lot of the casuals out there and would retain the casual market. Yes, there is a great Nintendo install base that are playing Breath of the Wild, but there's a reason why certain games are doing way better in terms of sales for competition of Breath of the Wild on the market today. In terms of the best Zelda game, again, I still think A Link to the Past or games like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, The Wind Waker would be better in competition, in comparison to Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's my personal opinion. You could be different, and that's why I want to hear it in the comment section below. But nonetheless, the list is there. There's a Nintendo Switch update that adds small fixes and hidden features. If you want the full disclosure and the full list, you can check the description down in the section below. But once again, one of the more important bug fixes was the system update that is going to fix the play activity. If you guys remember, play activity had been reset for certain games. Certain game times have been reset. Now it's going to be fixed. So there you go. There's also the introduction to a more advanced parental control system and a way to find friends through Facebook and Twitter. But again, there are more details, so make sure to check into that. So RollerCoaster Tycoon and Atari Flashback Classics are coming to the Nintendo Switch. There is a massive article on Atari and what they are going to be doing in the future, but it was noted that both the RollerCoaster Tycoon and Atari Flashback Classics are coming to the Switch. That would be similar to those Xbox One and PS4 games where they have the compilation discs, possibly similar to those plug-and-play arcade cabinets that you can buy at like Walmart, where they have the yellow and white plugs, and you just plug them into your TV, and they're the Atari Flashback console. Who knows what's going to end up on the Switch? Maybe they'll package both of those games into one. I don't know. But this does raise the question. There was a Kickstarter asking people to crowdfund RollerCoaster Tycoon for the Nintendo Switch. What happened to that? If it's coming, did they actually make that amount of money, or I don't know. I really can't say. I think it's pretty crazy. They obviously found a publisher. They found someone who's going to spend the money, to invest the money in RollerCoaster Tycoon on the Switch. So there's that. That's happening. But I do think it's funny that they still had that Kickstarter going for the ridiculous minimum amount pledgeable being at $250. Like, yeah, pledge $250. Oh, we just need a crap load of money. That's all. Don't worry about it. You're not going to lose your money at all. So big story that came out was Overwatch casters. Players point to Twitch chat toxicity in wake of XQC departure. I was practically raised by Twitch chat. Subheader. Okay, so there's a lot of people defending XQC for being dismissed. Dallas Fuels dismissed the most controversial player, which was XQC. People are saying that this is in the wake of some tryhard emote thing. There's a guy that explains why tryhard gets banned in other chats, why tryhard, the emote, may be considered a racist meme. Okay, whatever, dude. I don't really care about that. I don't get into that. But what I can say, definite, we want to deal in facts here, okay? Factually speaking, when people look at Dallas Fuel, the team, they always look at XQC for his controversial things and being suspended. That's a fact. So dismissing him, people are saying, oh, you're making the biggest mistake in the world. Oh, is this an awful thing to do? Yeah, no, not really, okay? Anytime a sponsor would want to come and sponsor Dallas Fuel, they would also have to look at XQC and what he's done in the past and the bad press that he's getting the team and say to themselves, hey, you know, do we really want to be a part of that? Do we? Whether it's good or not. Again, stated in this article, somebody had stated, you know, even if it's not racist what he's doing, even if it's not sexist or homophobic what he's doing, even if it's all that context, that you need that context, all right? Even if it's all that, as an esports player in the position that he was in, would you really want to risk it by being an edgy kid, by posting these edgy emotes that are on the line of being acceptable, of being okay, even if they're not wrong? Would you really want to do that and risk your job? So now, instead of being an esports player, he's a full-time streamer, folks, which is okay. You know what? You're living the dream. You're doing a good job. Sweet. I hope you can branch out to things more than Overwatch. I hope you get picked up by another team, because eventually Overwatch is going to go by the wayside. All of these games do. So that'll do it for this episode of What You Missed News. I hope you guys really did enjoy it. If you did, please leave me a big thumbs up. I'm going to be heading off. I'm still recovering from sickness, so wish me well, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys like the outfit. I did it for you, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, that'll be all there is to say for this episode of What You Missed News. As always, good gaming, God bless, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode.